about the overloaded function. So if you can check, there is the video there that I uploaded about the overloaded function, right? And that one was just an example. So I just created an example to show you like how this overloaded function works. So now I want to go through these questions, right? So that also you can understand how to answer the questions. All right. So if there is like someone here who didn't attend yesterday, then there is a video there on my YouTube account. So you can just tell me like to share the link so that we can also watch that part one. You see. So now let's just work on this one. So now this question is saying write an overloaded functions. So I'm just gonna highlight try to highlight the keywords on this question, right? So now they say write an overloaded function max that takes either 2 or 3 meters of type double and return the largest number of them, right? So now it's like we're gonna have, it means we have to write the two functions, right? And those functions, they have the same name, which is max. And also those functions, the first function will be taking 2 parameters, and the third one will be taking three parameters there. So all of them, they must be of type what? Of type double there, right? And also we have to make sure our functions return the largest yeah, we want to make sure that our two functions return the largest number there, right? So this is what we have to do. Then now they said after creating those two functions, we have to do what? They say test your overloaded function in a program with the appropriate function calls you see here. So then after display on the screen to demonstrate that the overloaded functions work. So here it's just gonna call your functions there, right? Then after that, we're just gonna display on the screen to that the overloaded to demonstrate that the overloaded functions, just to test whether your overloaded functions there is calculating what is making sure that it's gonna find the largest, right? So after this, I can say now let's just go straight to be answering this question. So before I can go to the code block there, if there is anyone with a question according to what we were discussing here, then can ask before I can even go to the code block. But if you guys don't have a question, it means you are getting it. So okay, let me start with the code block. So according to the question, they said we must save what? We must save an overloaded functions there. The first one will be the one that takes 2 parameters. Then the third one will be the one that takes 3 parameters. Then both of them, they must do what? They must return the largest there, right? And they say it takes both of them, they takes a variable types of what? Of a double. So now I'm gonna start the function. So when they say both functions, they are taking the variable type of a double, it means also the return type of your function must be a double. So I'm gonna start now. So double max that's the name of the that's the name of the function. All right. So now I'm gonna say double value 1 Okay, let me not say variable. So I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna say num1. Okay, just wanna say num1. So num1. So I like to do this thing when I'm writing the variable on the function header. So I make sure always like I just gonna denote now. I just gonna make sure I put the p. So the p that I put there is just gonna denote that this thing is a what? It's a parameter. Then another thing is it is important also to do like that because you'll find that also inside the main function. Them just gonna declare num1. So if it's like that, it's just gonna make them to have a different variable name there. So it is very important. So here I'm just gonna say num2.
So may I please say something?
Okay.
So I do not have the foundation of this module, so I prefer that I watch the other video first because right now I am so confused. I do not know what's happening. So I was kindly asking if
Okay.
I.
I think it just okay. You know what? You can just watch. Then when we are done, then I'll just send you the link where you'll get the first the first part that we did. You get me?
Yes, I do get you.
You get yeah. So I'll send you the first part, and also you'll also repeat this one when we are done. Okay. Thank you. So now we have num1, we have num2. So now it means we have to do what they said we must what we must find the largest number between the two, right? So finding the largest number here, we can do this. We can just say, okay, since we have to find the largest number, then we can just say double. So I want to use the same method to this finding of the largest to this first function and also with the second one. I'm just gonna use the same method. So here is the largest. So here okay. So here I assume that num1 is the largest, right? So here I just assume that num1 is the largest. Num1 p is the largest. So when I assume that num1 p is the largest, it means I'm just gonna assign it to what? I'm gonna assign largest to num1 p there, right? So after that, I'm gonna do the if statement. So with the if statement, I'm gonna check if num if is it what num if num2 is what is greater than the largest, right? So I'm just gonna say if num2 is greater than largest. So if num2 is greater than largest, then it means our largest is equals to what? Is equals to num2. Num2 p, right? So other than that, here I'm just gonna return my largest here, all right? So the if statement there is just there to help you to 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 do to compare, right? To check if num2 is greater than the largest. So if num2 is not greater than the largest, it means num1 is the one that is largest. Then it means we're gonna return num1 is the largest. But if num2 is greater than num1, it means on line 9 when we are checking if num2 is greater than the largest, then it means largest will be num2. So I just want to command each and every line so that you guys can understand what's going on here. So here I'm gonna say check if uh, num2 num2p is greater what I can say is larger than largest, or I can say num1p, right? So here I check if num2 is like num1, right? Then here okay. Uh, okay.
So like, are you overloading
Okay, so
function?
yeah, I do the overloading functions here.
Oh, you're
So
overloading
I can say
functions.
yes. So the purpose of this
All right.
overloading functions is just to return the largest to between the two numbers, right? And also to return the largest between what? Between the three numbers. You get me?
Oh no, I get you, bro.
So
I was confused AF because I thought maybe you were. There's that other topic overloading something. Mm. Oh,
yes.
overloading parameters. Yeah, I thought you were overloading parameters.
No. So like
Oh, okay.
I'm doing this question, you see, this question one. So I started by
Cool.
discussing it. It's just that you are late. So
Cool. Are you doing
okay.
a question paper?
Yeah, it's like I'm working on previous assignments. So it's
Oh, okay, okay.
okay, let me check. It's assignment 2 2021. So it's gonna be a good preparation for you guys also to know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
to
it
take care of
will.
this kind of the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good.
So
If you're teaching for preparation and not the exact assignment, because like if you teach the exact assignment, they're gonna have similar assignments, and like the school would find out, what, hey, there's a lot of similar answers here.
no, it's like this. Ne? So this thing is the past. So when working with the with the past assignment and stuff, it's gonna be a good thing because they're gonna know how to approach the question.
Yeah,
So if you can check all the past assignment, the approach is not always the same. You get me?
yeah, cool.
The approach is the approach is not always the same. So
That's true.
let me just continue with what with the second function there. So we also have the second function. Also, a it also has the same name as the one on line 5 there, because that's the overloaded function. The overloaded function,
Mhm.
they share the same name, right? Then also they can have the same numbers of parameters, but when they have the same numbers of parameters, it means they must have what different numbers of
Return.
um, it- no, they must have different variable types. Yeah, you get me. So it means if you see now we have this thing, we have the parameters that have the double as the variable type. Then it means on line 19, if I create another function header, then I must make sure that I don't put two parameters there. It has to be more than that or less than, because if I put same number of parameters at line 5 and also same variable type, the compiler is going to complain. It's not know where to pass the values from the calling statement. Okay. So does it. So here I'm just gonna add the header here. So double num1p. So here I'm gonna add the num3. Num3p. Okay, so here still we're gonna try to find the largest between these three values, right? So as I said before that, I just wanna use the same method so that you guys can understand. So I'm just gonna use the same method of finding the largest here. So there is many method that you guys can use. I can't say like it is only this method that I'm using. See, there is many method that you can use to find the largest, and also it's gonna depend on your understanding. The more you understand it, the more you can find it in many ways. Okay, here we're just gonna do the thing of assuming that the num1 is the largest. Fine. So here, since we are working with the three numbers, right? So since we are working with the three numbers, it means we must also add another statement that's gonna check for the what do you call this thing, for num3 there, because we have three parameters there. So now we're gonna say else if so now we're gonna compare it with what do you call this? We're gonna compare it with num3 there, right? So now it means I'm gonna say num3 greater than largest, right? So after that, I'm gonna say if it's like that, then it means largest is equals to largest is equals to num3. Only if it's what? Only if is greater, right? So it's the thing that if you assumed that the largest is on num1, then if you wanna add the else statement here, so adding the else statement here, it is not gonna be that important because we already assumed online 22. But if we didn't assume online 22, then it means we will be adding the else statement to help us to work out this thing. But now I just make it to be made it to be simple. I just say, okay, largest is num1p, then it means you're gonna just use this statement to check if num2 is greater than largest. If num2 is greater than largest, it means num2 now the largest now is gonna be num2. Then now we're gonna take that num2, compare it with num3. If num3 is greater than the largest, it means largest is gonna be what? Num3. Then when it's done, just gonna return the largest. Right? So now I can say we managed to answer the first line there. Right? The first line. You see, we managed to, and we made sure that we return the largest of them. So we make sure that we write the overloaded function max that takes either 2 or 3 of type double. We did that and return what? The largest of them. Then after that, they say test your overloaded function in a program with the appropriate function call and display on the screen to demonstrate that the overloaded functions work. So now the way that we have to do, have to go to the main function, call a function, right? Pass the values that we're gonna use to test our function there. So now straight to here. Straight to the main function. Okay. So in the main function, I'm just gonna declare 3 variables there. So number 1. So I just gonna give them the, what do you call this thing? I'm just gonna give them the values. Okay. I'm just gonna give them the values sometimes so that we can be able to test our 2 functions there. So I'm just gonna say, so what you have to know is that now we're gonna call the 2 functions there. So I can also add okay, let me just create another variable here. So now I'm gonna add another variable that's gonna take the returning of the largest there. So here I can say maximum. So to denote that it is for the first time, is for the first to denote that is for the first function, I'm just gonna say maximum 1. Then for the second function, I'm just gonna say maximum 2. Right. So from that, I'm just gonna, so when I call here, is like I'm gonna call a function. So I'm just gonna say calling a function. You see, here is like I'm calling a function. So I'm calling the first function that contain the 2 parameters. All right. So I'm just gonna say maximum 1 is equals to, then I'm just gonna say max, right? Max is the name of the function. Then I'm gonna pass num1. Also, I'm gonna pass num2. Right. So okay. So now I'm gonna do what? I can just write another command to say now display the so here I'm just gonna do what? I'm just gonna return. I'm just gonna display the value that returned by the function there. Sure, I'm just gonna see out. I'm just gonna say the value between the 2 for 2 numbers is A. So so now I'm just gonna say the largest value between the 2 numbers is, then here I'm just gonna say maximum 1. Then I'm just gonna end my line. So that with the first with the first function that contains the two parameters. So I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, sorry guys, it's like I lost my connection there. So I'm just gonna share my screen again. Okay. So you guys, I'm sure you can hear me now. So I think that time I had the network problems. We were done with the callings with this statement, right? We're done with these two statement of calling the function and also displaying the return value by the function. So now we have what? We have another calling statement that call the second function there that contain the three parameters. Then we pass in those values. Then after that, we're gonna do what? We're gonna display what? The maximum there, right? So now let's just test our code, see how it works. So I'm just gonna build it now so that you guys see how it works, or also if we have any error somewhere so that we can be able to fix it. Okay. Okay, I'm just waiting to see the output there. I just build the program. So this is the output. So you see, like now they say the largest value between the three numbers is this. So now once you see something like this, so it means that number, that value there, it doesn't have a value. It's just that value is just there by the default. So it means on line 51, when I was copying, I did an error here. You see. So now if we can build our program again, then everything must work very well. Okay. So I'm just gonna show you those output again. So now this is our output. So our output is, they say the largest value between the two numbers is 9. So if you can check, we have num1, num2, num3. The largest number between num1 and num2 is what? Is 9, which is there. Then the largest number between num1, num2, num3 is what? Is 12. That's why 12 is there. So that's this is all the stuff that we have to know about what? About the overloaded functions there. So if there is no one with a question, because as the student, like I said, she still need to go and revise the part one, then it's fine. So I'm just gonna cut this lesson here. But tomorrow, I think I'm gonna work out on this question too. But before I can work out on it, I will also create a quick example that's gonna help you guys to understand how the function asset work, because from the overloaded function we move straight to the asset. So thank you guys for attending. So I'm closing this thing now.